Welcome to this Target Distributing and E-MetroTel webinar. This session is hosted by Chris Howell, Sales Engineer at Target Distributing, and Danny Du, Software Engineer at E-MetroTel. In this webinar, Chris and Danny explore how E-MetroTel powers modern mobility, showcasing DECT wireless solutions for secure, interference-free roaming and seamless handoff, as well as the Infinity 3065 mobile app, which brings the full UCX experience to smartphones and tablets. Let's get started. Over to you, Chris and Danny.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to hear about the great opportunities E-MetroTel has to offer. If we have any veterans with us today, happy Veterans Day, and thank you for your service. My name is Chris Howell. I am with Target Distributing, and we are here with Danny Du with E-MetroTel. Today, we're going to talk about mobility, but more specifically, the Infinity 3065 app and DECT handsets with access points, and how easy they are to program. If you're familiar with NEC's DECT platform, these handsets will look very similar without all the extra licensing you had to buy and with half the programming to make them work. One important note I would like to share is that E-MetroTel DECT phones will work on any phone system platform, not just E-MetroTel. At this time, I will hand it over to Danny, and at any time you have any questions, you can type them in the chat, and we will either answer right away or at the end of the presentation. Danny, take it away.
All right, thanks, Chris. Hey guys, I'm Danny Du, an engineer at E-MetroTel. I've been with the company for over 2 years now. Jumped around with a lot of different roles, but right now I'm settling with like training resellers and providing support. So here's the agenda that we're going to go over. I'll provide a tidbit of who we are. Then I'll be showcasing the products we have that allow people to be mobile with their wireless devices, which involve our Infinity and DECT products. Afterwards, I'll be showing you how to configure our products. Now, who are we? We were founded in 2009. We are a North American VoIP company where we like to focus on delivering secure, enterprise-grade unified communications and collaboration solutions. Following that, we like to we engineer our in-house hardware and software platforms with a focus on innovation, interoperability, and migration flexibility. Our technical support team and us as in general are serve businesses across the North America, Europe, Australia, and APAC regions. And we'd like to empower these organizations and service providers to modernize communications without disruption, risk, or vendor lock-in. We are privately held, debt-free, profitable, and backed by patented technology. And our core team are comprised of former senior engineers and architects from Nortel, Avaya, NEC, and Panasonic. For our wireless and mobile products, on the side for Infinity, we have the 3065 and web client. On the DECT side of things, we have the DECT handsets of the Infinity 277 and Infinity 577. With these products, it opens up users to not being tied down to their desk, but the ability to get up and be able to still communicate on the go. With the 3065, you have mobile clients with Android and iOS. As for the desktop clients, we have the Windows and Mac. No separate licenses are required for these clients. The only license you would need is a standard license for the XM extension itself. The 3065 allows you to make calls, listen to voicemails, monitor other extensions on the go, and even do SMS messaging as well. With it, you can also connect to Infinity One, which is our collaboration product. From there, users will be able to have private conversations, channel messages, and video calls as well. To expand on working remotely, we've made it so that NAT is simplified and that no VPN is required for the clients to work used to be able to utilize the software, allowing users to easily connect to the UCX by just inputting a single device ID to be connected. Furthermore, the 3065 has SRTP enabled, allowing users' conversations to be secure and encrypted. Here we have the Infinity web client. This is what users should use if they would like to have a more robust experience with the Infinity collaboration features. Here they'll be able to take advantage of groups, reports, queues, and pages. The difference between groups and channels is that channels are more open where anyone can join, whereas groups is more private and invitation only. Reports and wallboard are call center specific menus where users will be able to see reports of queues, such as the distribution amongst agents or the amount of calls per queue. The wallboard module is a real-time module that allows users to see the amount of calls taken, which agent is in the queue group, and how long ago an agent was in a call. So now I'll be showcasing you all how to download the 3065 app and provision it. So if you head over to the our website under company and downloads, this is where you're able to download the Windows for Mac clients, or head over to the Google Play Store or App Store for the Android and iOS specific downloads. So let's download the Windows one. And let me show you the screen window, that the pop-up window that that you would have seen. Let me just click yes. You can see it. Following this is just like the basic things you need to go through when you're downloading a an app.
See here.
Let's launch it. And here's a device ID that you'll be prompted to enter. And with this, you need to go to the partner portal. And on the partner portal, that's where you would create the device ID. So let's go down to provisioning. Infinity 3065. And then add user. So whatever email you input here, that email will receive the device ID so that you can input it into the device itself. And let's just give it 17, or actually let me look over here. What I have already, I think I have it set to 1513. So if I did not input a UCX extension, you would not have seen this SMS right here. Right here, you enable, you select your DID numbers that will get SMS. That 3065 will get the messages. And that applies the same for, well, actually, let me apply the serial number of the UCX. Then you will see that I can enable Infinity 1. So thank you. And I would enable Infinity 1 for this device. Save and exit. And now I should receive an email. There it goes. And then let me copy this device ID and paste it into the device ID of the 3065. Let's just get the tour. And for me to assign it, let's just create it, go back to the extension I had. And I can either copy and paste that device ID or just select it from here, submit, and then apply config. Now I have a functioning extension. All right, let's go back to the presentation. Actually, might as well show you the Infinity 1 web client real quick. So this is hosted on the UCX itself. There's collaboration, so then I'm able to have chats and channels with others. As you see right here, channels. And here for the phone, I can assign the MAC address and have this extension assigned also. So now let's go back to the presentation. All right, for our DECT products, it allows you to use DECT technology where it farther pushes the idea of mobility with a sense of security. By setting up base stations across the facility, it allows the DECT handsets to be passed off between base stations, allowing uninterrupted and secure conversations with the bonus of call quality not dropping. This technology is very useful in entities like hospitals, manufacturing, where thick or many walls are in place that impact cell reception. From left to right, we have the Infinity 277 and Infinity 577. Then for our base stations, we have the multi-cell of the Galaxy and the dual cell of the Galaxy AP500D. What's amazing is that we partnered with the same company that manufactures the NEC DECT products. Furthermore, the communication between the handsets are encrypted, and TOS and SRTP can be enabled for the communication between the base stations and the UCX. So further, like the idea of security when you're being mobile. All right, here are the features between the two handsets. They both have 2 lines, so you're able to take one call and have the other caller be on hold. 8 speed dials, you're able to access. The difference now for the 277 it has 4 physical feature keys at the bottom of the phone, while the Infinity 577 has over 50 keys, feature keys that you're able to access through the phones and scroll through and select which one you want to use. For the 577, it has a dedicated volume and mute button. You're able to connect it, a Bluetooth headset to it, or a 3.5 millimeter jack physically. And at the top is a red alarm like SOS button where you can assign a extension to it, and like a internal like number or even an external number to it. And you hold it for 3 seconds, you're able to make a call. And then it's ruggedized also. Now, the difference between the base stations themselves is that for the dual cell, the capacity is that it can have 20 registered handsets. For active calls, it can have 10 narrowband and 5 wideband. The terminology right there is for wideband, it's like HD voice, like more voice clarity for the call. As for the multi-cell, it can handle 40 registered handsets, but has the same active caller limitations as a dual cell. What makes a multi-cell different is that it's scalable, where you can have up to 4,000 bases in the same network and a max of 16,000 registered handsets. So now I'll be going over how to configure the DECT base station and handsets so that it's pointing to the UCX server. So right here, I have the Galaxy AP500M, the multi-cell. And what I want to first do is create a server. Actually, let me show you the extensions, what we have so far. So currently, I have the Infinity 277 connected to the UCX via its local IP address. Now, I'm going to be showing you registering the Infinity 577 handset, but utilizing the public IP address of the UCX. So before I get to, well, let's go to the server real quick and add a server. Let me find a public IP address so I can copy and paste that for myself. Right here. So let's keep the name HQ Lab register. That's where I would input the IP address. And then I want to add the SIP port number. So it'll be 5060. And from there, that's all I would need. For reference, you want to add like TOS, for example. The SIP transport, that's where you would enable TOS. And for SRTP, this would be right here. But we're not going to do that right now, so let's just save it. Next, we're going to want to create the extension and then assign a handset to the extension. So let's go over to extensions. Add an extension. And earlier, I had 808. That's a Infinity 277. So let's create the extension on the UCX side of things so that we have that ready to assign. So I'm under PBX configuration. Under add an extension, I'm going to submit it as a SIP device. So let's call it type 809. Display name, Infinity 577. The next, let's see, the secret, let's just make it simple. And then NAT mode, enable it to yes. then I can save it. All right, let's go back to the base station. So this one's line name is 5809. I have extension 5809. Now the authentication user will be the same. Password EMT1234. The display name on the phone itself, so that I know like what device it is. It's here. Next is server. Let's connect it to the public IP address that I created earlier. And then save it. Now for the handset itself, let me start the registration process by check marking the marking it, then pressing register handset. And then on the 577 itself, I need to go to a menu called connectivity. Register as an internet access code. So I can start the registration process. Okay, finally, there they go. So from my handset on the 577, let me dial the extension on this 3065, for example. It's 5013. And you can see it's currently being called. Well, test. I don't say you can't hear it, but that's okay. But that's the idea of registering the extensions with the UCX, the DECT handset specifically. So let's go back to the slides and close out. Thanks for bearing with me. All right. Next, with the idea for mobility. Currently, we're developing single extensions, so it will allow a user to be able to have a single extension. With it, they'll be able to receive calls across their desk phone, mobile, and PC through the external protocol. So very convenient if you want to take your 3065 or even your DECT handset somewhere and you're not at your main desk. If someone calls at your main extension at the desk, you receive that call as well. So to recap, the Infinity 3065 and web client can be set up across a multitude of mobile devices, allowing users to be on the go and still have encrypted communication. We then saw how simple it is to download the app and get it provisioned so a user can use the 3065 right away. Another part of the mobility is the DECT products allow secure communication in areas where cell reception isn't the best, and for users to be able to go in different areas due to them being cordless. We also looked at the provisioning of it and how to point the DECT base station to an on-premise system or a cloud system as well. Now, we're going to break it off to questions.
Hey, thanks, Danny. Some of the questions that have came in. Cells are referred to DECT cells only, I assume. There's no mobility capability, I assume.
No mobility for DECTs. What makes it different is that for the mobile devices themselves, you're able to go around and walk with phones and still make calls. Like, let's say if you want to transfer that call from your DECT handset to the back to your DECT desktop phone or something, you can just do like pound. You can just transfer the call to your desk phone or do like pound and like the extension number.
You mentioned Infinity One. What is that?
So Infinity One is our collaboration product that allows people to be able to do direct messages to each other, group messages, or even video calls. So in a way, I mentioned earlier where with their collaboration product, Infinity One, you can have it installed on the UCX because that's where it's hosted. So we'll create another server for Infinity One. So if you want to be like in a vacuum where you don't want to provide internet access outside, but still keep it within your location, you can have it hosted that way.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us for today's session. If you'd like to learn more about DECT mobility, the Infinity 3065 mobile app, or the full range of E-MetroTel UCX solutions, visit E-MetroTel.com or reach out to us anytime at sales@E-MetroTel.com. Don't miss our upcoming webinars. Each session dives into practical tools, demos, and insights to help you position and sell modern communications with confidence. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.